Hello, mi gente, and welcome to Espanglish. Thanks for listening. Before we get into today's episode, I want to remind you to please rate and subscribe this podcast. It'll really help me out a lot. So please go ahead and do that. Thank you so much. So today I want to do something different. I want to introduce you guys to a new segment on the show, if you will, or a new kind of episode, I guess. And I like to call it, Is It Over Yet? And by it, of course, I mean the Trump presidency. Seriously, I'm sure you guys can relate, but every week feels like it's been a year. So I know he's been president for only 1 year, but it feels like he's been around for a long time. The number of scandals and just things he said and the people that he hired are just, at times, a little overwhelming. Maybe that's part of the plan. I remember Steve Bannon, the great strategist, said once in an interview in the first week of Trump being elected, saying that we want to bombard people with a lot of information and just, have so much stuff out there that they don't know what to do. So maybe there's something to that. Maybe there's one thing that he actually knew how to do, how to drive everybody else crazy. I mean, he definitely was a disheveled, drunk guy, as people have pointed out before. And yeah, I mean, the guy was an idiot, but he read a lot of stuff about propaganda, so he should know. He was the head of Breitbart for a while. So there you have it. Alright, so welcome to the first ever Is It Over Yet? Today I want to cover just several things that have happened this week, but also over the past 2 weeks. Again, it feels like it's a long time ago because things are crazy in this administration, but it hasn't been 2 weeks. Is not a long time if you think about it. But in Trump time, 2 weeks is an eternity. So I feel like I might rehash some things that you already probably heard somebody else talk about, but I kind of want to give my 2 cents, if that's all right.
Listen, partners, we don't have a flu season. We've got a duck season, a deer season, but we don't have a flu season. And don't receive it when somebody threatens you with everybody's getting the flu. We've already had our shot. He bore our sicknesses and carried our diseases. Jesus himself gave us the flu shot.
All right, so she is not part of the administration, but she is one of Trump's evangelical advisors. And man, oh man, Jesus himself gave us the flu shots. First of all, why do all these televangelists dress like they're in the 80s? Like, I really don't get it. Is it because Ronald Reagan was president then? He's kind of the second coming of Jesus, and then Donald Trump is like the new image. I don't know what's going on, but they should really change their wardrobe at least. But putting that aside, this is ridiculous. There's a nearly pandemic in this country. People are dying. Kids are dying. Over 12,000 people are hospitalized. And this lady's basically saying, don't get the flu shot. You don't need the flu shot because Jesus himself just gave it to you. I mean, I don't know if you remember, but he gave you both type A, type B, and I think it's a type C. So just double check with your insurance, and I think Jesus takes most major insurance. It's funny because it's so dumb, but it's also kind of, it's dangerous. Sure, the flu shot is not 100% effective, but 10%, 30% is better than 0%. And it also helps you protect people around you in your community who are, have a weak immune system, who have cancer, or kids who, for whatever reason, don't have a good immune system, like I just mentioned. So it's just responsible, and it makes you a freaking good human being to get a flu shot. Don't rely on Jesus. Yes, he can save you, he can heal you, but he also gave us medicine and doctors for a reason, so please get a flu shot. Don't be a jerk. The reason why this Christianity, quote unquote Christianity, this health and wealth, this name it and claim it thing is so dangerous is because people believe it. Not only will they not get the flu shot, they won't take the cancer meds. And you see stories like this happen all the time. And again, I'm a believer, and I believe that God can heal you, but I'd also believe that doesn't mean he's going to every single time, because people do die eventually, right? I don't think those pastors have figured that one out yet. Even they will die at some point. Something's gonna kill you. I mean, it could be anything. It could be a car, it could be cancer, it could be whatever, but at some point it's just gonna happen. It's just the way it works. But the way they make it sound is like, oh, if you have enough faith, then you can be healed. So that the moment you don't get healed, then it's on you. So you don't have enough faith. So it's very dangerous and irresponsible. Get the flu shot. This has been your public service announcement, paid by the CDC. Thank you. So what else we got going on? Well, let's talk about this parade. How ridiculous is that? We have parades in Cuba because we're a third world country and we're a dictatorship. I don't think we should emulate that. North Korea has it. Russia has it. Trump, a 5 times draft dodger, wants the parade because he loves the military. Obviously, he wants the parade. I mean, of course, he's the most insecure person in the world. He is a millionaire, or who knows how much money he has. Let's just say he's a multimillionaire. And he's the president of the most powerful nation in the world. And he's still so freaking insecure. Like, he goes on Twitter and fights against celebrities. And he's always so insecure and wants to be liked. Like, dude, you won the presidency. Why are you so insecure all the time? Just chill. You don't need a parade. We don't need it. Who's going to pay for that? Mexico's going to pay for it? It's just ridiculous. And people in his own party, Lindsey Graham and others, are saying, we don't need this. We don't want this. It's a stupid waste of time and of money. But of course, candidate Bonespurs needs his validation. He needs to see the tanks and just put on a brave face and forget that he was a draft dodger. And just go out there and wave and clap like the supreme leader he wants to be. Are we in North Korea? I just can't believe the actual Pentagon is considering this thing. Why? Why though? I mean, I just want to be one of those memes. Why though? You know? We're not Cuba, please. Let's go forward with progress. Let's not go backwards. So if anybody, by any chance, in the Pentagon listens to this podcast, or if the NSA is listening, guys, just please relay this message. Do not have a parade. We don't need it. It's a waste of money. How about you give the money to veterans instead of wasting it on moving tanks and whatever the hell else you need in a parade to DC for a day? Not worth it. Not needed. Moving on. I think the biggest story this week, or maybe this day, because I'm sure tomorrow or the next day something else is going to happen, is the allegations against Rob Porter for domestic violence. Those are pretty serious and pretty awful, and that guy shouldn't have been there in the first place. The fact that he had his job this long just shows you the level of incompetency and disdain for women, for really anybody who's not a straight white male. And according to his first wife, he kicked her during their honeymoon. Who the hell kicks his wife on their honeymoon? First of all, you shouldn't hurt a woman ever. But on your honeymoon? What the hell, dude? Then he threw her down and choked her. And then another occasion, during a vacation in 2005, he punched her in the eye, which is where those pictures come from. I mean, I guess this guy gets set off during like special family bonding times. Honeymoon, I'm going to beat you up. Just fed up with this administration giving a voice and power to these men who are abusers in so many different ways. Now here's the kicker. The FBI knew about this abuse since 2017, since January of last year. And they told White House counsel Don McGahn. So this guy knew about it. And he still allowed Porter to keep his job. And it's been reported that the FBI informed the White House, at least of some of these findings, in June of last year. So they knew about it. And John Kelly found out last fall. And guess what? He stayed quiet and agreed to stay on. Porter was handling all kinds of classified material without a proper security clearance. The reason he didn't have a security clearance is because these allegations were there pending against him. And the FBI is worried that if somebody else found out about this, it could be used as blackmail. That's why we cannot work at the FBI or especially at the White House in such a top-level clearance. You need to answer all these questions about all these possible things or situations in your life that could tie you to a potential blackmail situation. And obviously somebody from Russia, for example, finding out about this blackmail, and you want to keep your job, they may say, hey, we'll keep these pictures away, we'll hack into her account or whatever if you do this, if you show the president this information. He's the one who decides what kind of documents Trump sees. He kind of gets them all ready and prioritizes them. So he's a very high level position. He sees a lot of classified information without a proper security clearance. Jared freaking Kushner does not have security clearance. It's just baffling. He's not the only one. At least 30 to 40 more White House officials don't have the proper security clearance. And it's been a year in office. It just shows you all the compromising things that the FBI has found in their background. This is unusual. It's not normal. And it's just one more thing that you say, how did this guy get elected? It doesn't make sense. This whole administration is a collection of idiots. Really, I mean, not only idiots, but evil freaking people. Whether it's like Steve Bannon, who also is accused of battering his wife, and the list goes on and on. And just a few hours ago, David Sorensen, a speechwriter, resigned because he was accused by his wife of being physical and emotional abusive. The list goes on. First of all, I don't know Trump has speechwriters, because what are they doing? I mean, when he talks, it sounds like an idiot all the time. It's just the easiest job in the world. This guy a kindergartner? I don't even know what his qualifications are, to be honest. But most importantly, how did Trump react to this whole Porter situation? What do you think? Do you think our leader took the women's side of the story with the actual freaking evidence? Of course not.
We wish him well. He worked very hard. I found out about it recently, and I was surprised by it. But we certainly wish him well. It's a obviously tough time for him. He did a very good job when he was in the White House, and we hope he has a wonderful career, and hopefully he will have a great career ahead of him. But it was very sad when we heard about it, and certainly he's also very sad. Now, he also, as you probably know, he says he's innocent. And I think you have to remember that. He said very strongly yesterday that he's innocent. So you'll have to talk to him about that. But we absolutely wish him well. Did a very good job while he was at the White House. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
And without words, I mean, I'm not surprised. Of course I'm not surprised. No one is surprised. But, man, you have hope. There's part of you that says maybe he'll do the right thing. But deep down inside, he's not. He's never going to do the right thing. He doesn't have a right bone in his body, if that makes any sense. There's nothing in him that says, hey, let me actually do the right thing for once. Let me take the woman's side of the story. Of course, by saying that he believes Porter's accusers, then people are going to say, well, what about your accusers, Mr. President? So he's definitely never going to take the woman's side out of self-preservation. I don't think he cares much about Rob Porter, just cares a lot about himself, as a good narcissist should. There are reports that Hope Hicks, the White House communications director, is in a relationship with Rob Porter. And there are reports that Trump is furious because he's saying that she put him, Rob Porter, ahead of her job. So basically, Trump found a way to blame the only woman in this entire situation. He couldn't blame the wives, although he kind of did by saying implying they're liars. He didn't blame John Kelly or Don McGahn. He's blaming Hope Hicks and implying the ex-wives are lying. Our president, everybody. Our president. And last but not least, I want to talk a little bit about just this campaign from Trump and the GOP to undermine the Mueller investigation, to undermine the FBI, the DOJ. This is probably the most troubling of everything that's going on because of what it could represent, what it could mean for our future as a country. It's really unnerving that an entire party is putting one man, the president, over the country without caring what it would mean for the entire nation, for our institutions, and for their own party, because they're not going to survive this unless they're planning on gerrymandering for the next 100 years and winning every election that way. Then sure, if it's actually your plan, then I guess you don't care what you do now. Either they don't care, or I don't know what's going on. By now, you've all heard about the Nunes memo and what a dud it was. It actually contradicted his crazy conspiracy theories that he was spouting. Of course, it didn't stop Trump from in the State of the Union speech after he finished it. Somebody asked him, "Are you going to release the memo?" And he said, 100%. That's on camera, even though he hadn't read it yet. So obviously it was a political move, not anything that was driven by his desire to be transparent. It was obvious. But today, he rejected the Democratic version that refutes Nunes' memo to be released, even though he said he was going to release it. He sent it back to the House, saying some BS excuse that it has too much information, that reveals sources, blah blah blah, which is BS. I mean, those same concerns the FBI had over Nunes' original memo, and Trump didn't care. Don't know what's gonna happen. I hope there's a way we can read this the way it was meant to be read, not the altered version that Trump wants us to read. So I guess I'll keep you posted. But yeah, just first of all, the hypocrisy, and also the continuous attempt to undermine our FBI, our DOJ, is beyond reprehension. These people are just, I don't know. I'm beyond words again, because not only are there conspiracy theories, but the conspiracies are just stupid. These are the most idiotic people assembled into one team, into one party, probably in the history of this country, nay, the world. The world, guys. Seriously, these guys are so dumb. The other thing that they came up with, first of all, the secret society thing, that was just insane.
What this is all about is further evidence of corruption, more than bias, but corruption at the highest levels of the FBI and that secret society. We have an informant that's talking about a group that were holding secret meetings off-site.
And of course, it turns out that it was a joke, which of course it was. I mean, it's just, nobody believes it, but it was just another way for them to undermine this. And then a week later, or whenever it was reported that, hey, it was a joke, so they had to take it back. And then the other day, Trump tweeted in all caps, "New FBI texts are a bombshell." They're not. Fox News, of course, state propaganda machine, was implying that these texts from the FBI lovers, Peter Strzok and Lisa Page, said that Obama wanted to know everything we're doing. And the House Judiciary Committee member, Representative Louis Gohmert from Texas, said that this means that President Obama wants to know everything they're doing to stop Trump, which is completely BS, because the investigation into Clinton's emails and all this stuff ended in July, and these texts were sent in September. So nobody knows what this was about, but it makes sense that it was about Russia, because Obama had a meeting with Putin 3 days later after these texts were sent. So again, another easily debunked conspiracy that the FBI is against Trump after Trump. Like I said, these people are idiots, and they're in power. Thank God they're idiots, because his conspiracies are just debunked easily. But again, since they're in power, they're pushes his narrative out into the world, for everybody, especially the 35% that supports Trump no matter what. And what they're doing is they want to discredit the FBI to the point that when Mueller comes out and says, hey, Trump should be impeached or indicted because of this and that and that, well, people are going to say, oh, well, I don't really trust the FBI anymore. I don't really trust the DOJ anymore. I don't really trust Mueller. And that's what they're doing. We cannot allow it to happen. Trump doesn't have to fire Mueller. He just has to discredit him. And he's trying. Like I said, fortunately, these people are idiots, and their theories are stupid and easily debunked, but there's damage being done already, and they know it, and they keep doing it, and it's scary, and we need to stop it. I don't have all the answers. I wish I did, but I know that it starts by people being motivated to vote. Please go out and vote, not only for the November elections, but every little election in your city council, in your school boards, wherever you are. Vote for people who are anti-Trump, people who are pro-immigrants, pro-equal rights, because there's a lot at stake in this country right now. We're in a crossroads, and November is going to be crucial for how the next 3 years are going to shape up. So please vote. I come from a country where you weren't allowed to vote. Your vote actually didn't count. You can vote, but there's only one choice. I don't want to live in a place like that anymore. That's why I'm here. So please mobilize your friends, donate if you can. You know, if you don't have time to actually campaign for someone, just donate your money and let others donate their time. But please go out and vote. Thank you guys. It's been fun. Let me know if you like this format when I go through just several things instead of just one topic. This is not something for every episode, but maybe every once a week, perhaps. If you think this is cool, let me know on Twitter. You can follow me at Espanglish, M-A-S, and then Espanglish, the name of the show, all together. Follow me on there, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.